Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is Margie here from the Take Charge of Your Health Naturally podcast. And we've had many interviews in the lead up to this podcast being launched. And today we have a really special guest, Eleen. Eleen and I met on LinkedIn. So if any of you are on LinkedIn, please go and take a look at her profile. She actually does a weekly video. And all I can say, it's wisdom on wheels, because she shares a particular aspect of her coaching. Have you ever heard of a happiness coach? Well, we all know that laughter is the best medicine. Eleen is a happiness coach. Firstly, I want to welcome you to this podcast. And I want to ask you, what is when I say take charge of your health naturally, what does that mean for you?
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you for the invitation. Very, very honored to be here and share some of the stuff that I know, some experience I have, with you and with your audience. Yeah. So what does that mean to me in terms of health is that when we talk about health, it's something that we are given since they were born. When we are born, in general, most of us are considered as healthy. And of course, we are happy as a baby. And then there's nothing that you worry us in life as a baby. And babies are just special in the way that, they don't hide their feeling. When they know that, they need something, they will get your attention. Not only attention, but almost like the whole neighborhood will know when the baby needs something. So from that point of view, the way that the minute they were born, we are pretty much, happy, healthy, having good time, that bonding with our parents, with loved ones. But as we grow up, we tend to so-called believe some of the stuff that's been told to us. We never reject that. We just take it on. So when that happens, that's where that, we are being put in the space of, you need to be this. You need to behave in a certain way. You cannot behave, or you cannot do this and do that. And when we take that on, because when we are growing up at the stage of before 7, okay, most of you know that before 7, whatever that we've been taught, we experience, we take it as the truth. We don't challenge that. So after that age, okay, whatever that we learn before that, we take it on, this is me. This is how I need to behave. And as we grow up, we meet friends, we are being put in a different environment. We've been told by our teachers that, you need to, to take care of, even behave yourself at school. All those stuff start to build up. And then when we come home, our parents, our grandparents, and then all those things that's happening, we've been told that we need to behave in a certain way. So even come to our health, okay, we are being told that we need to be healthy in a certain way. But the thing is that sometimes when we come to our health, we know that when we feel certain way, but we believe that, okay, this should not be the way. For example, okay, when we feel that, okay, I feel a bit tired today, I need to rest. And then probably you remember that, okay, when you mean tired, that means that, okay, yes, you need to rest, but at the same time, there's still so much stuff that you have not done. You need to get it done before you rest. So we tend to grow up and believe that we need to get everything done before we can take a proper rest. So we get busy. And when we get busy, we forget to rest even, that resting is almost like it's not important at all. But again, getting busy also means that we are not actually taking care of what actually we are feeling inside. When we feel that we're tired, we need some rest, we feel exhausted, we just need to take a step back. We're actually not allowing that to happen because it doesn't seem right. Because I was told I need to work hard. I should be this way so I can be a good person. So when it comes to health, it's more like, how do you actually acknowledge that from the minute you were born, you're actually very healthy, but as we grow up, we're actually losing that connection with ourselves. Health is very personal, right? So it's like, I know how I feel. Even a doctor can tell me that, okay, I need to rest, I'm sick. But I know the inside. What does that actually mean to me? because I know that when I'm sick, I need to rest. But do I actually want to rest? When we're not feeling well, when we are sick, you know, when we're lying down in the bed, is our mind ready to think that we should rest, or our mind still try to rest? Like, no, you need to get better soon as possible. You know, you still got so much stuff that you have not get done. Resting means they're not productive.
Well, so I mean, that's a really interesting take on health, because most often people think about, oh, you've got to eat the right food and you've got to have the right exercise.
Yeah.
And that one point you mentioned about resting, I believe there are 8 or 9 pillars of health, and sleep, rest, is one of those vital pillars of health. So getting back to what you were saying, how would you take when someone is diagnosed with a specific condition? What is your take on the healthy way to handle that situation?
Usually when we're being told that we have, like, you know, we are not feeling well, or like we are diagnosed with certain, you know, health issue, we tend to believe what we've been told. Yeah, this is what happened to me right now. You know, I am not feeling well. You know, I'm not well. I need to take care of myself. I need to take medication. I need to see, you know, to get therapies. You know, I need to do this. I need to do that. That's what we've been told that we need to do. But there's also another aspect, you know, when I talked about the resting, it's more like you come home. I would say you come home to yourself, that connection with yourself, because we know that healing is coming from within. We are always being downloaded with a lot of message. Like, you know, people told us that, you know, even like sometimes when we are not feeling well, you know, we've been told by parent or friend that, oh, you need to do this and do this, you know, just need to do all these things. But we know that sometimes that I just don't have the mood to do it. I just don't feel like doing it. I just need to rest. This is a good thing. That's why I mentioned rest as, you know, how it come back to you really understand that your health is what you can feel it within you. It's not somebody telling you. So when you've been diagnosed with certain, you know, health issue, to me, it's more like, can you come home and actually sit with yourself and listen to your body? What is the body trying to tell you? Because sometimes I feel that, you know, like when I'm sick, when I'm not feeling well, it's not a bad idea at all, to some extent, because it actually reminds me to come home and take some rest. Come home and understand what's actually going on in my body. And where is that coming from? That so-called, like, you know, illness, where is that coming from? Is it because that I'm so stressed out? Is it because that I'm just you know, trying to entertain and meet everybody's expectation on me? Or is it just purely mean that I am tired? I need some rest. Again, we tend to only believe what people are telling us, what the expert telling us, what the specialist telling us, what's the therapist telling us, especially what doctor telling us. When it comes to, like, you know, we are not well, we are sick, you know, we have certain health issue. We believe everything that we hear. Now, what happened? That experience is purely get you to just sit down and take some rest. And then from that space, you figure out, or you try to find a way to so-called get to understand you. What is that so-called illness mean for me right now? Every one of us, when we are not feeling well, take a moment just to sit back and just sit down and just come home, you know, just spend some time with yourself. Give yourself that cuddle, you know, and say, how can I help you right now since you're not feeling well? Is there anything I can do for you? That come back to that, you know, like Maggie, you're doing that natural way, you know, that natural way of healing the body. That we know that the body can heal itself. You just need to give it that opportunity to heal, right? It's like, but in general, we've been told that we need to take medication. But we have never been told that we probably just need rest. Medication, just everything, there you go. You know, you need to see therapists, you need to do this, you need to do that. And besides time, how about money? The money that we spend on that. And much beyond that is like, how about your mental health? Physically, I'm probably not in the best shape, but how about your mental health at that moment when you've been told that you've been diagnosed with certain health issue? Mentally, you need to be able to hold that space for yourself. And when you And the only way to hold that space for yourself is really come home. It's really take a rest and just come home and just sit there and ask yourself, what is going on with my life right now? Why am I not feeling well? Why am I having this issue right now? Because there's the space that you actually start to talk, so-called like, I wouldn't use the word protect, but it's more like, you're coming home to actually just get to know yourself better. Because if physically you're not well, mentally, we are a bit shaky as well. So how can you actually take care of the mental first? Even though your body is now feeling certain way, but mentally is something that we can control through sit down, come home, take a moment just to reflect on what's going on right now. Because you need to hold the space for yourself at that moment. Nobody can do it for you. If mentally you start to think of all the rubbish, all the things, there's something wrong with my life right now. I need to see therapists, I need to take medication, I am not healthy right now. If mentally you're going that space, your body will follow. You're going to make things worse. So how you feel in the body, is basically, a moment for you. So this is seeing from a different perspective. Like when we said that, like you've been diagnosed with certain health issue, we think that we are not, like we are now not the perfect you. Now I can't do certain things because I am not healthy, because I need to take rest. Yes, but how about seeing from a different perspective? It's just a moment. It's just purely a moment for you to just understand who you are at that moment, what is going on in your life, what's the thing that you need to fix up here, not so much on the body.
That is such a good way of looking at issues like that, which people get so busy, they don't even listen to their body. Now, the other question I wanted to ask you, Eleen, I know that you do practice or use the tool of NLP, just for the listeners who are not familiar with it, neuro-linguistic programming. Could you just explain a little bit about how this works to step into that area that you've been talking about?
Yeah. Yes, I'm glad that you bring that one up, because when we talk about health, so we know that health, like I mentioned right at the beginning, we were born with good body, good health, and even like emotionally, we are healthy, we are good, we're just perfect, in the way when we were born. Is when we grow up, we have been downloading all the wrong information, or in other words, lies that we've been told. We've been told that we need to have certain way, to be certain person, then we are qualified to be the good guy, the good girl. But as we take on so much, because we just don't know what is wrong, what is right, we just take on everything. Because I want to be a good girl, so I need to do this because this person says so. When I need to do this as well, because my boss think that, okay, I only qualify as the best employee of the month or of the year if I do this. But it doesn't sit well with you. But you don't know what else to do, because you've been told that you need to be like this. So you believe that's the truth. I need to behave this way for me to be qualified to be that person that people think I should be. But deep inside, that is not who you want to be. That's not you. But you find you just don't know how to navigate that. So you just basically do everything that people telling you. We call it like meet expectation of others, but you're not meeting your own needs at that moment. You just try to please everybody. Yeah. So when that happens, okay, like especially when the way we carry ourselves today is based on the belief that we observe other people behave, and we take it, that is I believe that. And the other thing also is the download from our parents, our teachers, friends, from we're young. And when that happens to us, we know that, okay, like on the outside, yes, we take everything in. On the inside, the body try to process everything, and then it being so-called like categorized as, okay, when I do this, I feel this way. But in fact, I am not happy. I don't like to do that, but I just don't know how to say no. So when we do that, okay, we are unconsciously actually, hiding the real feeling. I'm angry, but I cannot be angry because they are my parents. I need to be nice. I need to be the nice, daughter or son. And when the boss says something, you disagree. No, I can't because he pay my bills. Friends, same thing. we hide the real feeling. So when that happens, what happens? The NLP come in. Okay, so NLP is that it get to understand. It really give you a space that you actually, like I mentioned, you come home. You come and understand what are you actually holding inside you that you are not actually want to let go. Because that thing that you hold is the one that lock you in, like you're in your own prison in a way. Because of those emotions that you don't know how to digest, you just don't know how to express it, you just take it on. This is all I can do. I hide the feeling. So NLP is that neuro-linguistic programming, especially get you to release that feeling, So it's like, if I'm angry when this thing happened in the past, so NLP is taking into the process of, okay, that thing happened, how do you feel? And you know that the feeling is anger, probably like guilt. So NLP is not going to get you into the story like, okay, what happened in that? Tell me what happened. No. Because this is most, like when we were trying to tell story, we tell almost everything and we went through the whole experience again, which NLP don't do that. NLP basically just let you know that thing, that experience caused you to feel guilty, to feel the guilt. So right at this moment, if that's what you feel, can we see from a different perspective? What happened if that experience is purely for you to learn something that you have not learned yet?
So what exactly do you do with the client who's trying to release the fear or the anger or whatever? So, because if people haven't had neuro-linguistic programming, they won't understand what exactly it is that you do to help them overcome that naturally without taking painkillers, without taking drugs and all of that, which is where people go to. They're going to take medication to stop the anxiety or whatever it is.
Yeah. So Margie is more like, first it's like, invite them to come home. So invite them to come home, like where they, I'm like usually in what I invite them to come home. And at the same time, we just having a chit chat in the way. But the chit chat is in the way that is being so-called like being crafted in the way that is to get to get them to come into the really like the subconscious mind. Like we know that the mind have two parts, is the conscious and the subconscious. And the subconscious is the one that decide how you should carry yourself every day. It's not the conscious, because consciously we know that when I am not feeling good, I'm not feeling good. But that is not the programming inside the mind. Inside the mind, the programming, the actual programming that so-called like that detect our life is in the subconscious mind.
So is it all by communication? I mean,
yes.
I've been a client having neuro-linguistic programming, but they did quite a lot of muscle testing and things like that during.
Oh, it's a bit different. It's a bit different. So the way that one of the technique that I use is called timeline therapy. So what we did in that session is that we are just getting the client to actually, so I get the client to actually go back to like the first thing that happened in their life, okay, like which caused them to have the emotion of anger, because there can be a lot of things that happen throughout the whole life that cause that, like it build up, it keep building up, keep building up. So we go back to the first event and we just get the client to actually notice that is what happened, and that's where the first anger start to build up. So at that moment, I will just ask a question. So beside the anger, is there anything you can learn from the event? So what they will see is that, okay, so that is where I guide the subconscious to actually know that, okay, so this has been the past information that's been downloaded: anger, sadness, guilt. But beside that, what else? What else that, okay, that the subconscious mind actually already know, because we said that wisdom is always in us. So the wisdom part is also stored in the subconscious mind. But at that moment when things happen, we believe that it's guilt that we're trying to insert into the subconscious mind. But at this moment, it's like, okay, subconscious mind, this is what happened. What else? What is the positive learning from that event? So what the client will say to me will be something like, I probably have a choice. I can actually be much stronger. I can choose to, I can choose to be happy. I can forgive. I choose to forgive. I choose to see strength in myself. So then that information is like the new information for that happening, for that event. So then, we go through all the events that happened, and then we just keep asking the subconscious mind, okay, what else can we learn from this event? What are the positive learning from this event? And then the client again, is assessing more through the subconscious mind, the wisdom within. So then they will keep telling me, like, okay, oh, actually, I feel that, I don't have to get angry. It's not me. It's not me talking here. It's just somebody tried to make me feel certain way. I choose not to listen to that. I have a choice. So you see that, like during the whole conversation and we visit each of the events, the wisdom that come up from that session is basically the takeaway from the whole therapy session. And then at the end, we actually get the mind to actually go back, to probably, is there anything else that we did not actually notice during that whole transition there? Then the client said, oh, I remember that, when I was, 12 years old, this happened to me and I also feel angry. Okay, go there, go back there. And what can you learn from that experience? Oh, okay, yeah, I do have choice. I don't need to just believe anything everyone's telling me. Okay, cool. Okay, so now, okay, come back. And then, this person will open his eyes or her eyes. And then after that, so now take a moment here. So this is what you told me that you learned. You have choice. You choose to forgive. You are stronger than the story. You can build a confidence, and confidence one of your strength. You notice that happened for you in those events. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now close your eyes. Now let's go back to the past again. Is there anything else that you notice right now that you have not taken care of? Or is the anger or the sadness still there? And the client actually said, no, I don't feel anything anymore. Okay, cool. Come back. Now, let's go to the future. Let's travel to the future as far as you can go. Now, if something happened in the future that you believe would trigger the anger that you always experienced in the past, will that still be possible? Do you still feel anger if probably something happened? And the client said, no. Okay, cool. Come back. So at that moment, when they open their eyes again, I'll get them to actually go back to the feeling of, okay, when the anger is gone, how do you actually feel? I feel super good. I just feel happy. I like, okay, that's how you feel. What do you see? Oh, I see like colorful stuff. I see the blue sky. Okay, cool. Okay. So then we guide them to actually instill that new knowledge and understanding into the subconscious mind. So it also means that from now on, when anything that could happen, they remember the subconscious mind right now is like so-called reprogram to see that, okay, when this happened, I probably in the past I'll feel anger, but now I have different programming for the experience. It probably means that I have choice. I can make choices. I don't have to believe anything that they say, they tell me, because I can always choose to forgive. So from that moment onward, they feel that they're more in charge of their life. Now they're not being pulled left and right, up and down. They basically, hold their own space and no, my past is just my past and I can make a choice. That is how powerful NLP is. And why it's so important, because that we know that in any stage of our life, in any aspect of our life as well, is that as long as we don't let go of the past, as we do the experience or the emotion, it's very, very hard for us to actually so-called change our thinking, our behavior, our action, even how we see ourselves. It's very, very hard to change because we know that our past somehow still hold on to us. The only way, like we said, that let go. But it's not easy to let go, right? It's never easy to let go. We said that, okay, yeah, I let go, I meditate and I let it go. But that it comes back that almost next day or even the next second. It's that, oh damn, I think I should let go. Okay, let me meditate again. Let me let it go again. You will never know what happened.
Eleen, there's something I wanted to ask you. I've had a couple of NLP sessions with my friend who works out of Bathurst as NLP. But you know what? I find it quite confronting. So how do we get over that aspect of NLP?
This is so interesting. I love this question, Margie. I love it. Now, This is where the NLP is powerful because it really puts you into the, on the seat of facing the devil in you. There are many of them inside you right now. You just need to be so correct. I don't even use the word you feel confronted, because the devil in you is not something bad. It's not something bad. It's just something that you allow to happen for you. That's all it is. Because we don't know, thing that we don't know, we just basically take on everything that people told us. That's why it becomes like we know that, because like I mentioned right at the beginning, we were born happy. So we know that when something is not making us happy, we just don't know how to express that. We don't even know how to kick that one out, because we just don't know. We just don't know what we don't know. So what we know the best at that moment is take it on. Just take it. Just even though I don't like it, I just have to swallow it. I don't like it, but I have to take it on. And that become the so-called thing that actually lock us into the prison of the mind or in the body. But that is not a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. It's just one of the experience. That's all it is. So that's why NLP bring you back into that experience and ask you, what can you learn from that experience? It's never about something bad that happened to me. It could be bad at that moment, but right now it's like you don't even need to fear it in the first place, because it's already in the past, right? So that's one thing, because it won't come out and so-called create any commotion or anything like that. It's just one of the experience. So it's never about fearing it. It's more like welcoming it. Welcome it. Yeah, show up. I'm ready for you. I'm ready to entertain you right now with an open heart. And I want to thank you for that.
I must say, Eleen, I feel that a lot of listeners here will get a much deeper understanding of how they can approach you as a coach for NLP to help them through some of these issues of fear and anger and guilt and all of those mental issues that are affecting their health in a physical way.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
I would like to just ask you, what is the best way you would like anyone to communicate with you?
Okay, so they can either private message me, which you have my contact, and if they're on LinkedIn, they can always connect with me on LinkedIn or on Facebook. Yeah,
Fantastic.
and of course, yeah, and they can also book in a call with me, which I already have the calendar link, within the book a call with me. So they can do that, just have a chat, It doesn't mean that they must have the coaching. It's not about that. It's more like just get to know what are the options. Because when we always believe that especially when it comes to health issue, when we've been told that we have this, and this, we tend to believe that 100%, yes, I have this and this and this. But it's always good to know that you have choice. There are choices, the power of choices.
Exactly.
There's always other options that's out there.
And Eleen, did you say that any of the listeners who wanted to have a consultation just to feel whether this is going to work for them and you can have a consultation, would that be a paid consultation, or is this a gifted consultation for anyone who has witnessed this interview?
Yeah, so it's more like we just need to get to know one another, basically. I need to know where you are. You need to get to know me. Because again, we know that when it comes to coaching, it's not just one session and everything is sorted out. It's about a transition. It's about a journey.
Transition.
Yeah. So it takes time. It can't be just, working with me for one session and then you're done. No way. That's not going to happen. So the call is more like just to get to know one another. And I'll just probably ask you a few questions, where you are right now, what you struggle with, anything that I probably can offer you, or is there anything that, we need to feel one another, because I'm somebody that talk about feeling. If I don't feel that you're the right person for me, or you don't feel that I'm the right person for you, we just know that we're not the right person for one another, And the other thing also, I really need to know that whether you are so if we're putting aside, whether it's pay or not pay for the first consultation, it's more like I need to get to know you first. And you need to get
Eleen, I really like that. And I just want to thank you for sharing your wisdom. And for the listeners here, I just want to let you know what Eleen has shared is only just minuscule of the wisdom that she has deep within, that she just shares with love and grace. So Eleen, from me, thank you so much for being my guest this morning on Take Charge of Your Health Naturally.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Fabulous. Have a wonderful evening or morning or day.